today. Just want you to know chat's open. Love to recognize you. I'm getting all kinds of feedback about people who have been connecting and interacting with people they met on this LinkedIn Live. And this is a time to really get involved, participate, show up, be recognized, be promoted. And today's subject, which goes along with all week, which we've been talking about, is LinkedIn 2023 planning. And I thought collaboration strategy would be so ideal, especially having Tara Gooch as our special guest today, who is just an unbelievable connector and collaborator. So Tara, why don't you take a second or two, share who you are, what you do, and what your thoughts towards collaboration in 2023 looks like.
Absolutely. So thank you for having me on your show. It's just not a Friday without seeing you, Don. That's for sure.
Well, that's great. Feelings mutual.
But yeah, so my name's Tara. I'm the CEO of Best Branding Solutions. And what we do is we specialize in LinkedIn, personal branding. So we help people develop personal brands that ultimately set them up for success. And I think that's so important. One of the most fulfilling parts of my work is watching those light bulb moments that happen with people. As we, talk and get to know each other, as I teach them about LinkedIn and the potential that it has and what they truly could be capable of capturing here on this platform, watching those light bulb moments go off, it's rewarding within itself. And then to see that person go to that next level of success that I saw in them that they might not have even seen in themselves, it's priceless. I love that. So, collaboration for me, it's very client centric, but I just really enjoy this platform. It's like no other. This is a community. And when you really dial in to the community aspect of LinkedIn and collaboration, you just go to that next level of success, not just on LinkedIn, but in your career and life as well.
Well, that is so cool. And the reason I believe it's so cool is I think what I've seen in you as far as progress since we started collaborating, and we're a great example of collaboration that really brings synergy and makes one-on-one plus three, one-on-one equal three, is that your comfort level continues to increase. And when you get more comfortable with LinkedIn gets more comfortable to work with.
Yeah.
Right? So if you make a friend of LinkedIn and, you become more yourself and maybe your better self by working with someone who is almost like a mirror as far as reflecting, and then you add an audience. And let's just run through. I know I just love having people on the show. Umesh, hi. It's great to have you. Feel free to ask any questions. Daniel, good morning, everyone. Thank you. Good morning. Open to connect. That's great. Networking's where it's at.
Yeah.
And it all speaks to collaboration. Hi, Tyrandon. Happy to be with you. Likewise. Okay. Another one. A lot of information. So yeah, getting back to the plan and what's involved with collaborating. Well, first of all, it's connecting,
Yeah.
right? And it's that at that point, you're making all the decisions towards future activity. And the question is, where do you want to invest your time, which is your biggest currency on LinkedIn, with who? And if you say anybody, it's just like bringing 100 people over for dinner.
Yep.
Right? You got to feed them. But if you go back and say, how much dinner do I have to serve? And let's say it's for 6 or 7 people, then scarcity does not become an issue and abundance takes over. And I think qualifying, making sure they're aligned. In my final, let's say, line is, would I have a conversation with them right after I connect with them? And if the answer is no, then I've already set a self-limiting ceiling. And what's even worse, they don't even know about it. So they don't even know a call's never going to happen. And some people just get numbers like they think they're lottery tickets,
Yeah.
and the more tickets they buy, the more chances. But really what happens is the more work you get, and what LinkedIn does, they match you with the people you're connected and interacting with. If they're not aligned, you're going to get more people who aren't aligned looking at your content. And so that's where it's so important. And just really quickly, what's your strong emphasis when you decide who you want to collaborate with?
Absolutely. So, every week, what is it, 200 connection requests that LinkedIn allows you to send out every week. So, number one, that's something I always like to tell people is, if you're not maximizing those connection requests every week, you're sinking your own ship, because at any point in time, you're one connection away from a completely different life, right? That could be your next customer, your next business partner, your next investor, whatever, or collaborator, right? But I make sure that every single week, who I connect with are top level decision makers. So CEOs, presidents, C-suite members, right? And then, that's generally who I connect with. But before I connect, I make sure they're active. Because if they're not active, they may not see my connection request and may just be in that pending land forever. I ultimately don't want to connect with people that aren't active. So even if you are a top level decision maker, I want to make sure that I look at your profile a little bit, give it a 5-second, 7-second review. Is this person posting? When were they last active? Have they updated their profile, or has it been static since 2015? Right?
Mm-hmm.
So these are some of the things that I look at, because otherwise it's going to go into the wasteland. We don't want that. So we want to make sure that when we connect with people, that it's people that are decision makers, but also that are active. Because if we're not doing that, again, it's going to go to the wasteland, and we only get so many of those connection requests a week. So it's really important to connect with those people, but also furthering more than that, you
Mm-hmm.
also want to connect with people that are active because they support your posts, and you can support theirs as well, right? So it's all about that reciprocity on LinkedIn. But it's really important to connect with those like-minded people, top-level decision makers that are active.
Yeah, I think that's so appropriate and can save somebody a lot of time. Here we have Victor today. Thanks, Tara and Donald. Victor's from Barcelona. We're
Hey,
getting really a great crowd, and I know Victor's been a participant all week. Thank you. We've got Shiny, who's been supporting. Uh, you're right. Activity. If they're not active for themselves, they're not going to be active with or for you either.
yeah.
So what they do for them will be what they do for others. Uh, Great point. Easy to take shotgun approach. Best to connect with the right people. Daniel, you're so right on. And to kind of follow up on that or layer onto that, what I'm finding now is I'm only really qualifying people who have shown an interest in me now.
Yeah.
So where I go is who viewed my profile yesterday,
That's a
who
good approach.
commented, right? Who liked, because they've already made a move and they could have never done anything.
Mm-hmm.
So when they leave a like or a comment, it may not seem like a lot, but they did take time out of their day. They did probably check out your profile or your content. And what they're saying is, I liked what you did. And that's what a like is, or a comment, or a share.
Yep.
And with that said, it's then lends itself to a thank you. See, the beauty of it is too many people go for the sale and they don't even know if it's good for them, let alone another person.
That's
But
right.
their job is just how many can I catch today?
Yeah.
And they're transactional versus how do I create the greatest opportunity that complements what they're already doing to make it better,
Yep.
right? I never want to change people. I just want to help create options, choices, put in pieces that maybe they're not strong with, and I think the key for everybody is focusing on core competency. And when you can help somebody focus more on the things they love to do and do well, and you can take some of the time and trouble away from them, but more importantly, get higher performance, that's where collaboration really pays. And you've got to ask yourself, it's not just connecting with somebody. What value do I bring to them? So when they ask me, what can you do for me right now, tomorrow, if we get started, you've got an answer.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's so important. And the other thing that I said is, not only build with active people, but, really be a promoter and a complementer of their material, right? So, and I know Tara is so generous in her promotion of others and inclusion of others. So how does that work for you as far as having an attitude of gratitude towards collaboration?
Absolutely. It's all about, if you want to sell effectively on social media, I had a post about this today, going back to just your profile, let's start from the basics. If your profile is not clear, and if it's not speaking in the voice of that target client, that target consumer, then they're going to go to the next, right? So, just speaking in the voice of that target client, that helps people understand how to work with you, right? But going into collaboration and me uplifting others, it's part of it, right? So it's part of that social sales strategy approach. And when you add value to someone else, when you highlight someone else, it uplifts them. And when we think of social selling, one of the things we should think about is, what do I like, right? What benefits me? Well, I enjoy it when people comment and like on my posts, right? I enjoy
Mm-hmm.
it when people give me recommendations. I enjoy it when people invite me to their live streams and feature me in their posts. So why wouldn't we do the same for a prospective client? It makes sense. Or for anybody that again,
Mm-hmm.
prospective client, investor, partner, or just somebody we want to network with. So, a social sales approach is a holistic approach. It starts with getting your profile dialed in so it's very clear. But then also, if you're the one social selling, make sure you're a promoter of that person, right? Make sure that you're elevating that other person. So in my post today, one of the things that I said is that it's not about you, it's about them.
Mm-hmm.
When you reframe it from I to them, that's when it starts to convert. Because again, ultimately, nobody really, goes to a website where it's all about their company, their achievements, blah, blah, blah. We go to a company and we do business with a company that helps us in some way, helps us with a pain point or a problem. So on LinkedIn, and a good social sales strategy is just highlighting that other person. So liking their posts, commenting on them to the point where they begin to know, like, and trust you. That's a
Mm-hmm.
great first step before a DM is even sent out to that prospect. Start liking their posts, start engaging with their content, and then you can even offer to feature them in some kind of way or add some kind of value. Again, giving back with really an abundance mindset, like you
Mm-hmm.
said. I think when we go from that scarcity mindset to an abundance mindset, and we take the time to get to know somebody and we take the time to add value, it takes us to that next level. People ultimately want to do business with others with that abundance mindset. Nobody wants to do business with somebody with a scarcity mindset.
Yeah, perfect. And to add to that, hi Poonam, here every day this week. Thank you so much. It's great to see you. Uh, I think the key word in what you said was value.
Yeah.
And if you look at it, like whatever you give, if it has value, you did something good.
Mhm.
Because what happens is it doesn't just drop in, it ripples.
Yep.
And people who get tremendous value talk about you in a way that is so third-party validating. And I look at it like if you were a great catering company, giving out hors d'oeuvres to everybody who visits your store, right, for free. And if you go to Costco, they built a whole business around sampling, right? Because why not give somebody a preview? Right now, people looking at this are seeing me, are seeing Tara, and they're seeing how we talk, our style. This is a great opportunity to say, is this someone I really can trust? Is somebody I really want to work with? And are they available for me? Because everybody needs help. I mean, if I wasn't constantly learning, I couldn't do what I'm doing. And if you asked me a year ago about LinkedIn Live, I'd say, what about it? Never
Yep.
had a clue,
Yep.
right?
Same
But you
here.
stumble into things, and there's 10 times lifetime opportunity on LinkedIn that you can't do it by yourself.
Yeah.
And sometimes if you can't do it by yourself, you could do it with somebody else or another group. And that's where collaboration comes in. And people have to be able to be honest. And being honest is saying, I can use some help,
Yep.
right? You can't help somebody who doesn't believe or need help, right? Because it's like trying to fill a jar before you took the top off. So, and I think that Tara's point, some things are so simple, they're difficult. What's simple is not always easy. Charles is here. Charles is a great connection. I tag him every day. I tag everybody who comments on my post, and I tag everybody who appears on this LinkedIn Live and wants to share who they are and where they're from. Because here's the thing, these LinkedIn Lives yesterday got over 200 viewers with over 400 minutes of views. Everybody who's showing up on the screen is getting seen by 200 thought leaders and influencers and is being tagged among those people. So you only see the value at the surface if you never go below it.
Yeah.
And one thing about LinkedIn, the deeper you dive, the richer it gets. Because first of all, it's rarefied. There's hardly anybody down there. And you can connect all the wires that make everything on the surface work. And that's the value. If it's just me talking or Tara talking, that's great. It's sure better than a text post with a poem, a flower, and a wish, because you can get a ton of traction, but what it says is you're becoming an entertainer and not a business person.
That's right.
Right? And if you're into thought leadership and content distribution, and that's your goal, it's a huge opportunity because everybody will accept it for free, but you'll never get traction. And that's the key. And you want to go with the ones who are ready to go. The other thing is, it reminds me of the saying, it takes one to know one. When you can see what you've been looking for, or even see what you don't even know it existed, and know it's open for just a continuing conversation, and some people don't even do that. And I'm hoping these shows get people to step out of the background, get on the stage, be seen, be known. It's a social network. And if you're having difficulty, get with someone like Tara, to personalize things. And, if nothing else, you get feedback, right?
That's right.
And that's important. So how does that all kind of fit in with your strategy going forward?
It's so key. You hit on something, feedback. So, we are often the worst people to make, any type of changes to our own profiles or websites or content or whatever. But when you have somebody that can give you that third party perspective, right? That third party lens, that eagle eye view, that 10,000-foot view, it's really simple. So for me, I connected with a brand new client yesterday, and I purposely did not look at his profile until our actual phone call. Looked at his profile and he said, how effective is it? And I said, it's 5 seconds. So that's what, the typical person gets when they look at your LinkedIn profile. You get 5 seconds at a first impression. So I look at it, the profile within 5 seconds. If I don't understand what you do, who you serve, the problems you alleviate, and how to contact you, it's not going to monetize. It's not going to convert.
Mm-hmm.
And it's only 5 seconds. And it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Nope, doesn't work. Here's why. Here's how I can help. It's very simple. It's very straight to the point. But having that third party view on your activity, right? So not just your profile, but also your activity on LinkedIn, right? Are you engaging? Are you commenting? Are you posting?
Mm-hmm.
So we could have one dialed in really, really well. And I've seen this with a lot of creators. They've got great content, but their profile is not a landing page. So ultimately, nobody understands how to work with them or how to contact them. Or their profile's dialed in, but then they don't produce the content.
Mm-hmm.
It's all a holistic marketing mechanism. And you need all of these integral interweaving parts in order for you to really take your content to the next level, be seen, grow your network, but also, again, monetize in long term.
Yeah, and in addition to that, you really have to appreciate where someone is, and you have to meet them where they're at. Too many people are say, jump, get up here, you can do it, instead of reaching down. And I think part of understanding people and supporting people is the um, feedback, like you say, but also understanding how you can be encouraging.
Yep.
Because not everybody wants to know what they're doing wrong. Not everybody wants to know what they could be doing right. But a lot of people would like to know what are the best of what I'm putting out there, right? I mean, if you take a car into a shop, there's usually one or two really critical issues that you bring it in for. And then if you look at everywhere, you're going to find something, but it's not a big deal. And I'm saying with people, they don't know how good they are. And some are so disillusioned because where they came from, and usually it's corporate America, they were superstars.
Yeah.
But it ran under a different energy than collaboration. It was more competition or a matter of distrust, like you give it to me and then I give it to you.
Yeah.
But I'm not going first. Now we've got Al in with a lot of hearts. Great to start the new year with love, that's for sure.
That's great.
And I think, people think too much and do too little. And people think they're smart and don't give everybody a lot of credit because, again, until you talk to somebody, do you really get to know them? Until you listen to somebody, and I think that's what's great about LinkedIn Live is everybody gets to look before they ever have to ask.
Yep.
Right? If you see us, and first of all, you can just not come, and that's a way of voting. And the other one is you can look for other people, but I think this opens the opportunity, and there's plenty of people like me and Tara. But you have to also look at where we are in our journey. Right? Gary Vee would be the greatest coach in the world, but you're never going to get him.
Right. That's right.
We're where he was 10 years ago starting out. And at that point, he was probably doing all the stuff we're doing. So you got to get the class that's coming in to the class that wants to come in. And that's another way of aligning.
That's right.
And the other thing is, and I can't stress this enough, especially when you're making your 2023 plan, is quality of life and balance. And that's why you need to be very thoughtful in who you invest with and how much you invest, because you don't want to steal from other important parts of your life to give you this opportunity to do what you want to do. And you can't battle at home and battle at work at the same time and feel you can win. So you need to really be thoughtful in that regard. And, every day you want to feel better for whatever you did and whoever you did it with. Right. And some people, like I say, are like elevator buttons. They take you up and some take you down. And if you can't leave someone or a conversation feeling better, you shouldn't have it, because the next person's going to have to pay for it. Right. Because it continues on. And if you're in a great mood, I mean, you look at the most successful days of your life. You started out with a head of steam, a positive attitude, like you can't lose, and once you can have that attitude, you can't lose, because you're focused, you're visualizing, you're manifesting. It starts with a vision and it carries forward, and that vision only works when you collaborate with others who believe in it and want to share it with others too. And if we can build a powerful community by everybody coming together just for knowledge share, then that would be a great beginning for people to start pairing off, having conversations. We're the hub. It's really the spokes that make it all work. So anyways, that's my feeling towards collaboration. That's my feeling towards this broadcast, because it's not just information, it's inspiration.
Yeah.
And the other thing is, this is an opportunity for everybody to say, when people say that was great and I learned so much and I love your content, it's worth sharing then, right? If the only price of admission is interaction and promotion, then I think everybody should practice promoting as many people as they want to, are comfortable with. I'd pick 5 or 10, ring their bell, read their stuff, and give them reasons to want to talk to you. So when they do talk to you, you've already brought tremendous insight and value. And if nothing else, you're doing it for free, which means you'll do it as good or better when there's some reciprocal benefit. And you're going first, which is respectful to someone else. So Tara, to kind of wrap it all up, what's your thoughts on what we've been talking about?
I love it. So, you said something really key. We can think about things all day long, but ultimately, if we're not taking action, it's fruitless, right? So there's a quote in one of my favorite books, and it says, "An ounce of doing is worth a pound of theorizing."
Oh, wow. That's cool.
An ounce of doing is worth a pound of theorizing. Stop saying, we're going to wait until 3 months from now or next year, or we have to take action in order to meet our goals. So, it's really relevant right now because it's New Year's, right? And we all have these goals. But are we theorizing these goals, or are we putting them into action and actually capturing them? The only way to reach your goals is with action. So, with LinkedIn, the most important thing you can do is put in a lot of action and put it where it counts. Again, who are you connecting with? What type of content are you putting out? What does your profile look like? Is it easily, communicative to your target audience? Put in the action, because that's what's going to ultimately pay you the dividends for years to come. But you've got to put in those action steps in order for you to get to that level of success that you ultimately are looking for and seeking. So yeah, an ounce of doing is worth a pound of theorizing. So put in those action steps and watch yourself go to that next level of success in life.
Yeah, and I think to just add one little piece to that, I think you mentioned it earlier, is what is your proportion of meism versus themism, right? How much of my time is working on me, right? Promoting myself, getting more stuff out, versus going out there and reaching out to people to give them a lot of value, right? Because you're going to get their attention with showing, not just telling.
Yep.
Right. And if you're a doer, like Tara mentioned, and I reaffirmed, is active people want to be with active people.
Yeah.
You know, they say if you've got something important to do, find a busy person, you know, which would seem counterintuitive, but they're just so used to getting a lot of stuff done.
Yeah.
And if, you know, almost look at it as if you were hiring somebody, you know, and you were interviewing them for your board of directors, let's say, if you're only going to get 5 or 10 people, what would their qualifications be? What would be your ad to attract them? You know, would you say 5 years experience, you know, commute, whatever it is? Well, maybe that's the way to go, right? Maybe if you're looking for 2 of something, to say I'm looking for the 2 best industrial contractors who meet this requirement, and if you do, we should talk, right? Why not get it right out in the open if you're that clear? And another thing is, it'll save you all the other people who aren't relevant from reaching out to you, because you can say, well, you're not an industrial contractor.
Right.
Right. I'll tell you a quick joke that reminds me. I'm a good joke sometimes. Anyways, a dog's walking down the street and he passes a store, and in the store window, there's a sign, you know, computer operator wanted, equal opportunity employer, bilingual, you know, must type and do some programs. So the dog raps on the window. The owner of the place looks out, and the dog's pointing at the sign. And the dog says, well, so anyways, come on in. So anyways, hops up, types a little, you know, does a little computer stuff. And the owner said bilingual, and the dog says meow. So anyways, that's the joke that kind of goes for matching up with whatever it is.
That's right.
Yeah, so a little bit of levity. It's Friday. Have some fun. Celebrate your successes. Happy New Year. And we'll look forward to a really fresh start in 2023. Thank you so much, Tara. It's been a wonderful opportunity.
Absolutely. Thank you, Don. Thank you, everyone.